Hey, what's going on, everyone? This is Dalton at Dalton95, coming with another Transformers-ish video. This is first third-party video in a while, but we're taking a look at the TransArt BWM-06 Metal Jungle Metal T-Rex. So there is the big boy right there. Now, I've put off this video for quite a while, simply due to some of the stories I've heard about breakages and everything, but I think I've put it off long enough. Plus, it's near the end of the year. I want to get this out before my top figures video comes out. So, real quick, there's the artwork of the silhouettes from Coming in the Fuse Horse Part 2. One of the more iconic scenes out of Season 2, or at least the very beginning of Season 2. Always loved this, the whole Western thing that went on with it. But yeah, that's pretty much all there is. There's your legal information, and then I think those are for the instructions. So yeah, English instructions, and then there's that. So if you want to use those QR codes, check those out. But bringing in the big boy himself, there he is, and he just looks amazing, much like all the other TransArt figures I have. And I still need to track down a strange friend, so I think Agabus might still have some of those in stock, so I might have to try to get one from him later, probably when Rat Trap comes out. So let's go ahead and raise this camera up. So right off the bat, he just looks phenomenal. Like, very show accurate. He's got the more Takara colors with this kind of more copper color instead of the straight up kind of brown. And I gotta say, I like this more. I have the Takara one, so let me go grab that real fast. So there is the Takara version of Megatron, and I mean, it's close, but I think it falls somewhere between the original Cannel and Takara versions. Now, he does come with quite a few accessories. So get him standing up straight here. There we go. First of which is his main tail weapon. This is the robot mode version. He does parts form, and there is a size difference between the two, but we'll get into that. Articulation wise, there is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 ball joints. It can get a fair range of motion. The claw does open and close. Comes with this blast effect that fits in there, but it does weigh down his arm. I'll show you how to put this all on here in a moment. And this activates his eye gimmick, which can go straight on, flashing, or off. Now with that tail, it does include this little reader for the shard of the golden disc. You can pop up the projector. There you go. So much like the Unicron Labs one, that is not aged well with the die cast. And with this one, it does house the 2 alternate faces, as well as the 4, blasters for the finger gun. So we'll get to that here in a moment. And these gloves, which I will be using during transformation for the chrome bits. So go ahead and attach this arm. There are a couple of spring-loaded portions here. What you want to do is rotate the hand like this, collapse it up. Same with the fingers. The thumb rotates back as well. Now, these are on little T-joints, so you bring the back, slide it back like that, and that will kind of lock those tabs in a way to where you can lock the arm on as soon as you get it there. It doesn't work all the time, but when it does, it's satisfying to get it on there. And there we have Megatron and his tail weapon. Like I said, you can put the blast effect in there, but it has a tendency to weigh down his arm. And of course, now it works, so I don't know. Your mileage may vary. So take that off. He does have his turbines here, which just to demonstrate them rotating, I will put on one of these cloth gloves. They're just a thin fabric, but they do rotate fully. Bring out that section, bring that forward so you can fly around inside of the arc. And well, I'll save any spoilers for those who haven't seen Beast Wars, the greatest Transformers show ever. Change my mind. I don't care who you are. Bringing his hand out, we'll go over articulation real fast. He's got a ball jointed head. For the shoulders, they are on a hinge or a swivel here. Swivel all the way around. The shoulders do get in the way. They do ratchet outward. Get basically 180 degrees at the elbow. Again, the shoulder pads get in the way. You get a tight bicep swivel. Get a wrist swivel. And then, much like current masterpieces or up until current, fingers are articulated at the base, then at the secondary knuckle, and are separate from the pointer finger, which is also on the same number of joints. The thumb, on the other hand, has a ball joint, a hinge here, and a hinge here. It's missing the one at the first joint, just like the fingers. So you get decent range of motion there. It does have a really tightly ratcheted waist. Does have an ab crunch, so it's part of the transformation. It takes the joint with it, so you can only get about to there. Ratcheting hips forward and back. They do ratchet outward. Get a lower thigh swivel. A little less than 90 at the knee. Get ankle tilt and forward and back. He does have the roller skate gimmick, just be careful with it. Let's go and bring this out. Now this is a very thin piece. A friend of mine broke his, not exactly sure how. I don't know if it was from the suspension gimmick or what, but just be careful. It is spring loaded, just be very careful. These wheels and the feet themselves are die cast. I think the only die cast on him, well, these lower leg pistons are die cast, I know that. But I believe that's the only die cast is here at the feet. To swap his faces, you just separate the front and back here. Pull that off, and there's the battery. Just carefully wiggle that out of there. So there's the helmet. Let's go into the tail here. Now you can store all this in here and use it for beast mode. So you don't have to take any of this stuff out in order to do the transformation. We'll put on his yes face. So got that going on. And if you want to go with him being angry, specifically like in a Code of Hero or mimic the original toy, you do get this kind of snarling face. I believe he was packaged with the snarling face. I usually like keeping him with the more stern, stoic face. Just go ahead and put these back in here. Just put them in using that little hole right there, and there's those little tiny posts sticking up. Just plug those back into there. I know I'm showing it off, I'm doing it off camera, but you kind of get the idea. And if you don't get the idea, then I'm not sure what else to tell you. Helps to get these out of the way. Come on. Get it back on there. There we go. And then these ones we'll go ahead and pop out. Okay, it might be easier to take these out and put them back in without those extra faces, because give me more room to grip these. All right, give me just a second. All right, so pop these out, And then we'll go ahead and pop out the dino fingers, which are fairly easy to pop out. And swap in these barrels. We rotate this 90 degrees. Bring that up to there. Straighten those out. Now, I'm glad they did these, but it wasn't really necessary. Just a nice little touch. Kind of like what Dakar likes to do with their, you know, they only use this one time in the show accessories. So there you have the finger blasters that Megatron used in part 1 of Coming of the Fusors. I believe this was used to stop the fighting between Inferno, Quick Strike, and Silverbolt. So he only used it that one time, but it stuck in our minds forever because it was just such a funny and strange thing that we'd never seen him do. But at the same time, he'd only recently gotten the body. Like, Coming to the Fusors was just within the same time frame of, what was it, Aftermath was the name of the episode? It's like they'd just gotten their transmetal bodies. They're still figuring them out. Like, Cheetor really found out from Rat Trap he didn't really need a running start to use his boosters. So yeah, there's all the accessories that Megatron comes with. Yeah, like I said, this one does attach. All you do is pop off the tip of the tail, plug that in, and then he can play that message of G1 Megatron to Ravage and convince him to betray the Autobots. So let's go ahead and get this guy transformed into T-Rex mode. We'll go ahead and basically ball up his fists. His joints are really tight. So word of warning, just be careful on how you do this. There we go. Then from here, like I said, I'm going to use the gloves with this. So we'll just put these gloves on. All right, let's get these accessories out of the way. Then from here, we'll go ahead and bring these wing sections back. Then from here, just carefully untab this back section. Oh, easier said than done, but it does come off with quite a bit of force. All right, so we'll get that out of the way. Then we'll bring up the T-Rex head. Now there is this little plate right here. Just need to be careful with that while you bring this up. And it does extend out, so you have full access to the neck joint. Rotate up the jaw. And that will kind of just rest there. And from here, bring these sections down. Flip out this panel. Same thing on this side, down. On both joints, bring out the panel here. And for the arms, they are on these joints. They're supposed to tab in, but I've never been able to get mine to tab in. So just bring the arms back and straighten them out. Take the fists up like that. We'll just plug in right there. Just kind of rests there. Same thing on this side. Take the fists. There we Sometimes this can be a little bit tricky. There we go. All right, so there's that. Bring these sections up to here. These will kind of just wrap around just like that. Down here. These will plug together. What is going on here? There we go. Rotate these in. Just kind of tab there. It's supposed to tab in, but it just doesn't want to stay. There we go. We'll bring these sections down, and these will tab into this little section right here. Just like that. Doesn't always want to stay on, but also got to get this neck piece lined up. These will tab together here at the back. Just kind of, there we go. Again, it's not a perfect fit. I don't know what I'm doing wrong with mine. I don't want to force it too much. All right, so then from here, we'll bring this section around like that. Then this lower section around here. It's like that. Excuse me. We also want to rotate this lower torso section all the way around. So just like that. This will kind of double hinge like that. Or am I doing this wrong? Probably doing this wrong. Hang on a second. Bring these forward. Just like that. There we go. So you want it to be kind of bunched up like that. There is a tab there and a slot right there. These will come down. Tab on just like that. And same thing on this side. Make sure this upper section stays tabbed together. Whoop. About that. Right, that'll come down. And tab into there. And then this section right here is where the tail will plug onto, just like that. And there's 3 tabs and 3 slots. That will just tab right into there. Now it's a matter of just straightening out these arms, bringing out the claws, and get the chest cleaned up. Something with the arms, the way I've got the arms in there is just keeping that from coming together properly. I don't know what I'm doing wrong. Then just kind of bend the legs, down the legs here a little bit. And there we have Megatron in T-Rex mode. And looking really awesome. I love the chrome detail that they put into this. And once again, just like in robot mode, you can use this blast effect, turn on his eyes, they blink as well. One more time, shuts it off. So you got some nice silver, or is it silver or is it just, yeah, it's like a silver chrome right in there. Either that or it's just the way the light's reflecting off the purple. I can't tell. Excuse me. But yeah, chrome all throughout the head here. Opening the jaw, he's got the silver teeth and a painted tongue. It is articulated. It's just so tight. I don't want to risk breaking it. But it is articulated. It's on a little hinge in there, if you could see that. Head does turn left to right. Does get a little side-to-side movement. As far as arms are concerned, you've got a swivel joint here at the little shoulder. You get kind of this outward movement. You get rotation here. A hinge up and down here, and then the ball joint on the claws. Of course, you got the turbines here, which can still flip up. So you can get the flying T-Rex. Feet come up. And give him his roller skates. So again here, just be careful with how you're handling this. He does roll pretty smoothly. But like I said, just be careful with that piece. A friend of mine broke his, and this basically made worst figure of the year for him. It is unfortunate that it did happen, but I think on him it was more bad luck than anything. I know some other people had issues with paint and other breakages, but I don't know. I'm not going to say be careful with your figures, because I've had it happen with me with Hound, the MP Hound, so I don't know. It might be bad luck with some people. They might have had just bad copies. I don't know. It's hard to say. Leg movement is a little bit restricted due to just these big shells around the hips, but you can still get all the same essential movements out of it. Tail has the same number of joints, so you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 ball joints here at the tail. You get that all going on. And yeah, that's pretty much it for the T-Rex mode. So let me get the other one. Well, let's do it right here. Let's do it live so we can all see how easy the original one was. I say that, and it's been forever since I've messed with it. I mean, it's fairly similar to the original as far as how the transformation works. Get these out of the way. You can see the chrome is starting to fade there on mine. But a huge shout out to my friend Joe for hooking me up with this original car release back in 2018. So glad I got this over the Kenner version. Has it really been this long? I can't figure out this transformation. I mean, I literally did it just on a masterpiece scale. Like, not even 5 minutes ago. There we go. Bring that up. Bring in the robot arms like that. I forgot that was on a ratchet too. Wow. These rotate back. There we go. Pull up these. There we go. And just like the larger one, there we have the T-Rex. Still does have the opening mouth, little claw arms. Oh my god, why are you coming untabbed? Oh, I have this facing the wrong way. There we go. I have that all the way up. There we go. We still have the rotating fans on this one. These flipped up. We have the little non-moving skates on this one. So yeah, this one's still a fun little figure. But this is all what we imagined having when we were kids. So let's go ahead and get him back into robot mode. It's gonna be it's gonna be one of my longer videos that I've put out in a while. So let's go ahead and remove the tail here. Come on, back go. It's even harder to do this with the gloves on. There we go. Of course, the original one falls all over the place with the skates on. All right, and these, actually, curl these up and put them up like that. There we go. Unplug or untab these from the side. And bring this all back. Straighten out his legs. Bring this up. Rotate the whole waist section around. Bring this thing over here. Bring this back to here. Then it's a matter of splitting this. Bring these back up. These sections out and down. Out of the way. Bring out the arms. See if I can get them to tab in this time. Okay, that one's tabbed in. This one out. Tab that in. And with these, collapse these panels down. This will come up. And basically come out like that. I can't remember. Okay, yeah, they tab back into these sections on the arms. Kind of hold them in place, just like that. And bring these down. All right, then from here, carefully rotate the head up. Can't even see it. Okay, hang on. Stand up. Bring this camera up. Excuse me. And this section, just carefully up and around his head. All right, now we've run into the issue that my buddy had. There we go, just push that up. Take the head inward like that. And this section comes down. All right, there we have the upper torso pretty much finished. Now we just bring this up. And this will tab right back into there. Remember, it is a tough tab. And there we go. Just collapse the arms against there. And there we have Megatron back in robot mode. And minus a few issues with like tolerances and things just not wanting to perfectly line up, I honestly think this is one of the best Megatron figures we've gotten in a while. Like next to the MP and of course the two Kingdom releases, or Kingdom and then Legacy, this might be one of my favorite releases of Megatron. Plus the JX is really awesome still. Yeah, overall, I'm really glad to have this Megatron. I know some people have had their issues with it, and a friend of mine, you know, broke his. I don't know if it was an accident or if he put too much pressure on it. I don't know. Could have been a bad figure, but just be careful with yours. They give you these gloves for a reason for the chrome, and just take your time with it. Don't, you know, I'm not saying they did, but I'm just saying don't go too heavy-handed with it. There are some areas where you need to use force, and some areas just be slow and steady with it. That being said, I really enjoyed this figure. He's definitely within the top 10 range of figures I got this year, but we'll cover that when I get to my top whatever video. I haven't decided yet on that, and it's like 3 days before that video comes out. So anyways, hope you guys enjoyed. I will see you all in the next video. This one's been a long one. Take care, and see you next time. Also, check out those links, and also my Kingdom and Studio series and Legacy videos. So yeah, check those out.